everyone, I'm Sister One, and today we're going to be talking about saving money. Most of us want to be able to save money, but due to the rising cost of bills, inflation, and the cost of living, it can seem harder as days go by to be able to save money. So today I'm going to be explaining how we can actually save money with the small budget that we do have, and how we can use that money to accomplish our dreams and our goals. Because let's face it, life is not just about working to pay bills. We want to be able to live life to the best of our abilities without having to feel like we're not actually achieving anything because we can't save money in order to achieve our dreams. And that's not what life should be about. So on the salary that we do have, we should be able to use that to achieve our goal, and also to have some savings so that when times do get rough, then we can actually have some money to fall back on. So let me just give you a bit of a background. So growing up, I never knew anything about saving money. I was never taught about saving money and the importance of saving money for when you have, for example, what they call a rainy day. Even when you go to school, they never even taught you about money management. Money management was never something that was part of the school system, of course. And there's reasons for that, but that's for another day. Especially in the Black community, there were no talks about money unless you were spending it. And most people in the Black community, from what I saw, especially those around me, most of them lived on welfare and they lived paycheck to paycheck. It was just a case of you making ends meet and just making sure that you survive day by day. And as I grew older, I did not know how to manage money, and I didn't know how to use money in a way to help me to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish, because I just saw money as a way to spend money to look good and to appear like I had money, which is what I saw in the Black community. I saw many people, they appeared like they had money, but behind closed doors, they never really had anything as such. So they were struggling, they didn't have the ability to put money on their gas, their electrics. A lot of these things is what was seen as normal in the Black community. And as I grew older, this somewhat stayed with me, but because I wanted to make a difference, I started to save as soon as I got my first job. So as soon as I got my first job, that was it. I wanted to save because I wanted to make a difference. And I'm saying to you that even though you see people appearing like they're not being prosperous and they're not being able to stretch their money and make their money work for them, I'm wanting to show you that actually you can make a difference and you can be the difference that you want, even on the salary that you have. It doesn't have to be a large amount of salary. It doesn't have to be 6 figures. No, we're talking a basic salary. You can actually make it work for you. So the first tip is learn to let go of any attachments that you have towards money. This is something that I had to learn as I was growing up and learning how to use money. It was to the point where I was afraid to spend money, and this is not how you want to live. You want to have the idea that yes, you can have money, but it's not your source of security. Our source of security should first of all be the Most High. That's number one. And learning how to use money as a tool to help us to go further in life is also a good way to help us to understand that money is only temporary, especially in this life. As money comes, it also goes. So you have to learn that money is not your sense of security, and it should never be, especially in this world that we live in, because anything can change at any moment. So just learning how to remove the fear of saving money and spending money wisely will help you to develop better money management skills so that you are not afraid to spend money and also save money at the same time. The next tip is to understand that not everybody is going to be rich. Now, the Bible tells us that we must store treasures in heaven. So we should not be trying to get wealthy at the expense of trying to compete with other people and to miss out on what God really wants us to do. At the end of the day, yes, we have bills to pay and we have things that we want to do, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is for us to develop a relationship with the Most High. Yes, it doesn't mean that we can't be successful. It doesn't mean that, yes, we can have money, but we have to be wise with what we're doing. We have to be wise with the money that we've been given, and also to make sure that we use the money properly so that it can help us to not only help ourselves but our future generations as well, because that's what it's about. The next tip is to be content with what you have, and you have to be realistic as well. It goes back to the idea of not striving to be rich. The fact of the matter is, not everyone is going to be rich. What you can do is you can learn how to use the money that you do have and use it to the best of your abilities so that you're not going into debt and you're not overspending, but you're living within your means. And that's the key point. You are living within your means. The next tip is to understand that the love of money can be the root of all evil. Now, the Bible does say this, but understand that it's the love of money. It goes back to what we were saying earlier, that you must not love money. Money is not something that we should love. Money is something that we should use to our benefit, but it doesn't mean that we have to love money. We use it to do the things that we need to do, but understand that it is also a temporary tool. The next one is to decide when you are looking to spend money, do you really need the item that you want to purchase? The answer is, for most times, it might be a no. Most times, you might not need the item straight away. You might be able to leave it in your basket, think about what you're wanting to buy, and then later on come back to it and decide, do I really need that? If I want to buy something, for example, I will put it in my basket. At that moment in time, I might want the item, but I have to learn to delay the instant gratification. Most times we see something and we get a buzz, we get a high, but I have learned that by putting the item in the basket, waiting for a couple of days, couple of hours, having the time to think about it, and then going back to the item, sometimes after I've thought about it, I no longer want it anymore. So that means that I'm being thoughtful about what I'm buying, and also I'm not giving in to my impulses. And the final tip is to thank God for what you do have. Most times, a lot of us, we ponder on the things that we just don't have, and we miss out on the things that we actually do have. We need to start thinking about, okay, I might not have this or I might not have that, but what I do have, I'm thankful for. Because when we are thankful and we have a thankful attitude, then this will also allow for more blessings to come into our lives. So I hope this has helped someone. Join us again for our next series when I talk about how we can save between £500 and £1,000 per year.